to you live from the KDWN studios on South Durango. It's Live Las Vegas, hosted by the voice of the Las Vegas Wranglers, Dave Carney, and R&B recording artist Al B. Shore. Want to talk to Dave and Al? Call in at 257-5396. That's 257-5396. It's live, it's local, it's Las Vegas. Here are your hosts, Dave and Al.
All right, welcome to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN. I am Dave Carney, joined by Michael Mack and our brand new addition to the team, Chad Forster. Chad, great to have you with us today. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing awesome. By the way, thank you so much for having me on.
Man, well, let me tell you what. It is absolutely our pleasure. We're going to call it the steal of the century, okay? And everybody will know why as this thing goes on.
No pressure.
No pressure. Michael, great to see you, too. How are you, friend?
Well, I'm just happy to have Chad here. You know, this is like, having an all-star lineup and then bringing in, a Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan. Or,
well, I was going to say
I'll
something.
Take Magic. I'll take Magic.
Now, I was thinking more like a Big Papi or maybe like a good designated hitter, a John Kruk.
Is that a fat joke?
Well,
is that a disguised fat joke?
It was a physique reference, not necessarily a fat joke.
Hey, not everybody works out 24 hours a day. Okay, Dave.
That's right.
Some people have to do things.
We do have other jobs.
Well, that's why I'm here, so that you guys can go do the other jobs, and I'll talk about them on the radio. Now, we have a really big show for you guys today. Not only are we going to be talking about some of the biggest stories from around the country, we've got NCAA Final Four going on this weekend, and Michael and Beasley Broadcasting were good enough to give us some unbelievable prizes for our shows today. So we have got a whole bunch of great stuff. The phone lines are going to be open at 257-5396. That's 257-5396. But right now, guys, let's jump in to the live news.
Now, for an all-new look at stories from around the world and around the town, here's Al and Dave with the live news.
All right, well, it's actually Chad, Dave, Mike today talking about the live news. We're going to be hearing from Al a little bit later on in the show in our Entertainment Uncovered report. But, fellas, got to start off with obviously the biggest news story in the country right now, the tragic shooting at Fort Hood. We have 3 confirmed dead, 16 people injured, and the speculation is really starting to grow about what was at the root of this event. Chad, Mike, your thoughts?
Well, actually, it's 4 dead.
4 dead now.
If you include the shooter.
The shooter. Okay,
who
you're
took
right.
his
Good
own
point.
life. Yeah, well, I mean, this is anytime you have these shootings, it's tragic. But I think you asked the right question: is what is the root of this? Why is it really happening? Is it the guns itself? And a lot of people will be out there in their soapboxes and saying, "Yeah, that's the problem. We just need to if you get rid of all guns, this ends." But I think when you look a little deeper, the one thing that I see that's common are a lot of these prescription drugs these guys are on.
That's right.
These SSRIs, these serotonin retake inhibitors, that make you go psycho.
And I totally agree. But our hearts go out to those families that are affected, those children that are lost, really young people, and it's so sad. And Dave, you and I talk about gun safety. We're somewhat liberal about guns, and the crazy thing about it is. And I didn't realize that, when you're an officer, when you're on duty and you're doing security work, they do carry guns, but they're unloaded. And what a crazy thing, that is in itself. Here we got trained professionals in gun safety. They're protecting their people, and they have guns without ammo.
Yeah.
I mean, why don't you just give them a dart gun?
Yeah, well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it seems like the height of irresponsibility. I mean, really, to walk around
that's like a car without gas. It doesn't work.
What are you supposed to do, throw it at the guy? Now, the thing that's, I think, starting to really take root here, and Chad kind of brought it up, is some of the prescription drugs and the way that this soldier is now being portrayed is, obviously having a lot of mental health issues. Didn't apparently see combat. He did several tours of duty in Iraq, Afghanistan. From reports, though, he never saw combat. Now, I would love to get a take from the listeners as well and see what they think about this. And again, the number is 257-5396, 257-KDWN. I'd like to see what the listeners think. But, guys, when you look at the problems that are coming to soldiers that are deployed now, the problems that are coming home with them, I think this year, Chad, we were looking at an article, 4,000 suicides Okay.
Yeah, I looked this up. 22 suicides a day from soldiers coming back from wars overseas. 22 suicides a day, and that's coming from the Veterans Administration. And I think they only get accurate numbers from like 21 states that participate. So I'm sure the number is much greater than that. But that's obviously a problem. And this particular guy, you're right, was suffering from some kind of psychosis, some kind of PTSD or whatever it is, even though he didn't necessarily see combat. So it's just an interesting phenomenon that's going on that needs to be addressed ASAP. And then I think what happens is it leads to mass shootings and things of that nature.
Well, Dave, you know, my personal thought is that mental health issues are kind of brushed under the carpet.
Absolutely.
They always have been, but, you know, I know this is going to hit a hot spot with you, but with the new affordable health care, that is even being brushed under the carpet even more. Mental health is a very serious problem. It's not a Band-Aid that we can put a Band-Aid on. It's not a brace where we have a broken arm and we can fix it in 90 days. It's something serious, and it's something that we need to really look at as a national problem.
Well, I mean, it absolutely is, and we won't get me started on the Affordable Care Act today because it's neither affordable.
It's only an hour show.
That's right. It's neither affordable nor care. But you're right, Michael. I mean, the idea that mental health is something that only happens to weak people, that only happens to people that aren't macho, that aren't strong. That's what's really kept this in the closet for so long. And really, a soldier in any kind of war, it doesn't matter if you're in combat, if you're a construction battalion member, it doesn't matter what you serve. When you are in war and engaged in warfare, it has an effect on you, and it changes and alters you for the rest of your life. We're going to take our first caller here on Live Las Vegas, guys. We've got James on the line with us. James, thanks so much for calling the show. How are you today, and your thoughts here on this tragedy at Fort Hood?
Thank you for having me on. Just real quickly, I was an Army medic, and I've been around soldiers that have suffered from mental problems. But the most common element are prescription drug medications. Every single one of them is on it, from some lunatic in a mall to a mom that cuts off her kid's arms in a bathtub. It's the drugs, folks.
Yeah, I saw a website where somebody was tracking this, and ever since Columbine, almost every mass shooting since then, with the exception of one or two, because they didn't have necessarily all the information, they were on some kind of prescription drug.
Well, it's in the counterindications in the guide that you take the pills with. It tells you what the symptoms are, or the side effects. I mean, you watch any commercial and you see symptoms or side effects include thoughts of suicide, depression. You know, it should say thoughts of homicide.
Right. Well, I mean, when you listen to an Ambien commercial, James, and again, we've got James with his former Army medic here on Live Las Vegas. When you've got an Ambien commercial basically telling you that aggravation, that high levels of anxiety and frustration and suicidal tendencies can occur, the natural assumption has to be, I would assume, that homicidal tendencies wouldn't be far off that path. Am I correct?
Well, you're absolutely right, but we have to be honest. Side effects are still effects. Okay, there's no side issue. They actually happen. I just want to leave you with a question. Make room for other callers. When my wife was pregnant with our first child, it tore me up because the doctor wanted to give her some drugs to help her mental state because she was suffering from depression. And then we found out the same drug later was on a list because it caused birth defects. And we really avoided a bullet. We really did. But the doctors want to put drugs down everybody's throat, including pregnant women.
Yeah.
I just want to know where this is going to go, but I'll listen off the air. Thank you so much.
Well, hey, James, great phone call. And by the way, if you care to go out, we've got a couple of free tickets for you to Raiding the Rock Vault, courtesy of Beasley Broadcasting. We love to reward a really great call with a really great prize. You can pick this up down at Max Pawn, corner of Sahara and Jones, but it'll be there for you in an envelope.
Hey, well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for your service.
Yeah, absolutely. Great phone call there. James, a former Army medic, really has some insight here, guys. And I think, Chad, you really led off the show on really the right note here, talking about the prescription drugs that are involved with most of these mass shootings, and James obviously can corroborate that.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of times these things are led with political beefs, right? There's somebody out there that's getting their soapbox out, and they're making a stance against guns or for guns or whatever. But I think the ultimate question is, how do we get this to stop? And if it's not the guns, then what is it? And everything seems to be leading towards these prescription drugs. So if that's the case, then let's take a look at this. Let's spend some money, do some research, do some testing, figure out if this is what's happening. Now, obviously, that's hard to do when you have these drug lobbies that have lots of money.
Absolutely.
And Dave, I really believe it goes back to the issue that mental health care is being swept under again, and it's really about health care, and it doesn't mean just mental. If you have a problem, doctors are prescribing. They're not taking care of the problem. They're pushing it off to the side, and it's a lot easier to see patients, give them prescriptions, and have them come back or not have them come back. And we're just creating a big mess.
Well, especially when your whole mission is to be a for-profit system about people's health. I mean, that's really the asinine, the asinine way. This is all about for profit. So we're going to have to step aside, take our first break here on Live Las Vegas, and a look at traffic. When we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit of March Madness. The Final Four is here, and you're going to want to hear about it. Stay tuned.
At 1:15 at the KDWN Winnebago Credit Union Traffic Center, plenty of trouble on the Beltway. This report brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Farmers Insurance believes the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. To find your local agent and get smarter about your insurance, call 888-96-FARMERS. That's 888-96-FARMERS. 215 north, that's south of Charleston. Some debris there. 215 south of Sunset. East 215, the eastern on-ramp affected there. That one's new. North 15, the Sahara off-ramp. And 95 southbound, that's at the base of the eastern on-ramp. For the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Hi, I'm Glenn Lerner. If the insurance companies treated you fairly after you'd been in an accident, we wouldn't be in business. They have teams of adjusters, investigators, and attorneys that are all working against you, and they want to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. When we call, the insurance companies listen. We'll fight hard to get you all the money you deserve and try to keep you out of the courtroom. Don't settle for less. Make one call, that's all, to 877-1500. I'm attorney Glenn Lerner.
Glenn Lerner is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
It's a new year, so you deserve a new you. Wouldn't it be nice to finally quit worrying about crooked or missing teeth? If you've been putting it off for a while because of the cost, then you should see Dr. Miracondia and his staff at AQ Denture in Henderson, because AQ stands for affordable quality. Dental implants, dentures, or dental services are more affordable than you think. Call AQ today at 702-565-6000. That's 702-565-6000, and smile again. Call AQ 702-565-6000.
You hear a lot of talk about gold these days. What, with the stock market and more upheaval than tumbleweeds in a tornado? The world-famous Max Pawn is your gold spot in Las Vegas. Don't just send your gold into some random TV guy for pennies on the dollars. Go where you can see what your gold is really worth and get guaranteed market rate for your gold, silver, diamonds, and more. Come visit the world-famous Max Pawn in Las Vegas at the northeast corner of Sahara and Jones, or online at maxpawnlv.com.
Now back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Al B. Shore on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Yeah, welcome back to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney joined by my new co-host here, Chad Forrester. Chad, again, great to be with you. And really awesome phone call there from James, Army medic, on that other side of the break, talking about that shooting at Fort Hood. I mean, obviously it's a tragedy, but I think, you know, if we were all to put our heads together here, there's probably some synergy between, you know, just prescribing away people's problems and the problems that follow.
Well, and I think the other thing that needs to be addressed is how this country treats its veterans in general. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of like leaving a job. Okay, it's like leaving a job in the sense that once you're no longer of use to them, they don't know who you are, or do they care? You're just in the way. And that's kind of how we treat our veterans, unfortunately. At least that's the perception that I see. Obviously, clearly, I'm not a veteran, nor have I ever been. But I know veterans, a lot of veterans you talk to. That's one of the things that really, for lack of a better way, pisses them off.
Well, absolutely. And you talked about the numbers there from the Veteran Administration website.
22 suicides a day.
And that's only from 21 states reporting. Now, there has long been there has long been stigma behind mental health, and we know that, especially when it comes to men, macho men. We see the same thing in sports, which we're going to talk about here in a second.
Like if you're a Kennedy, they
they assume
they'll bottomize you and they stick you in a hospital the rest of your
Either that
life.
or they give you a big bottle of whiskey, and they're like, hey, go have fun.
But you're right, though. Historically, it's always been that way.
Yes.
It's the redheaded stepchild of anything medical.
Absolutely.
They don't want to have anything to do with it. No one wants to talk about it. Everybody has somebody in their family that's a little crazy, and you just kind of, you all laugh, and it's all great or whatever, but no one ever really addresses it. And that's sad. It's unfortunate not only for the family that deals with it from the outside, but the person that's actually crazy.
Well, absolutely. And I think that's why the guns, the knives, the baseball bats, the golf clubs, whatever the method of the destruction is carried out with, is never the issue. It's always the issue with the person carrying out that destruction. Now, I think that we are, though, Chad, getting into a different time now, a more progressive time where even with the National Football League, we're starting to see some signs that show us mental health is a serious issue, and it's something that happens to the strongest, the toughest, the most macho of all guys. And it's not just for the weak. And I think that's what we need to get off of.
Absolutely. And you're right. The NFL is addressing it because obviously that down the road could end up ruining the NFL. And they did the right thing. And ultimately, it's about taking care of these veterans, these guys that get out of football and you get hit in the head 150 times. There's going to be some side effects.
You're bound to have some problems.
Ask
there.
Jim McMahon if he remembers where he lives.
Yes.
I mean, seriously. I don't want to make a joke and make light of it, but it's the truth. And,
I know.
And obviously, there's things that need to be done with equipment alone, but also research as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of good research, we've got some good research here, and we're going to jump in now, Chad, to the Kearney Sports Carnival. Let's get it started.
Covering the sports stories that come from everywhere. It's time for Kearney Sports Carnival with Al and Dave.
All right, here we are. Kearney Sports Carnival coming to us just a little bit early today. We were anticipating an interview, I should say, with Doug McPhill, who was a member of the Downtown Project. And, of course, guys, they're getting way amped up for their Sheryl Crow concert tonight, so we're going to talk to them next week. But this weekend, we have got plenty of action going on. Not only is baseball's opening week underway, 51s games Thursday through Thursday, started last night, continuing to next Thursday. We have the most exciting college sporting event, in my opinion, all year long going on right now, the NCAA Final Four. Chad, Mike, does it get any better than this?
No, March is the best time for sports. Like you said, baseball opens up. You got the Final Four. I mean, it's nice outside, especially if you live in a place like Las Vegas. And for the sports book, I mean, this is the best weekend, or one of the best weekends, in my opinion.
Following last weekend, of course, the March Madness there's nothing better. And I have to tell you, the first time in my history I have a bracket that is going to be possibly. So my bracket, what it has
You're welcome.
At the Max Pond bracket, I am a winner of half of the money if Florida wins. If UConn wins, now that my Final Four is over Saturday, just so you guys know, it's not Monday night.
Okay, that's
yeah.
it. Your Final Four.
James and I are down to the wire. If UConn wins, he gets it all. If Florida wins, we share the pot.
So who'd you have in the final? You had Florida and who in the final?
I actually had Florida and Louisville.
It's not a bad pick.
Well, it was looking
not a
like.
bad
Thank
shot.
you. I was looking like a great pick earlier, and I really thought that Louisville.
Did you fill it out?
Well, we did it together. We did a joint. We did a joint.
So he signed his name and you filled
Absolutely.
it out. Absolutely.
Listen, this is how good things work. Okay, behind the scenes business.
Good partnerships.
That's right. That's good partnerships, good business. Well, we've got some really, really big matchups here on the docket. Here we've got Florida, who has won 30 straight games since they lost to UConn
on December 2nd.
On December 2nd, playing UConn here in one of the Final Four matchups. Now, Chad, I know that you really like UConn in this game. Tell me why.
Well, I like UConn because I like Kevin Ollie. You know what? I didn't like UConn before because I hate Jim Calhoun.
Right.
So then, as Kevin Ollie's done an amazing job as a coach, I just like the team, the way that the team runs. And I hate Florida with a passion because I hate Billy Donovan.
Wow. Michael, what do you think about this matchup here? Now, you got Florida in your bracket going to the championship, so they basically have to win for you, right?
I'm not watching with Chad.
No, that's right.
I think Florida's going to win. I just don't like them.
Well, you bring up a good point, though, about UConn head coach Kevin Ollie. Now, Kevin Ollie was an NBA journeyman, and when Calhoun had to step down almost rather suddenly due to some ill health, and of course there was some sanctions going on with UConn from not performing academically, which UNLV could face. Absolutely, all coincidental. It always is, right, when you have the perfect time to walk away. But Kevin Ollie has reshaped this UConn program in a hurry. Now, the last time that UConn won a national championship, it was done in almost, I guess, a more Cinderella fashion than this. They were the 12th seed. They came in, they had won the Big East tournament, a really, really hot streak, and ended up winning the national championship. And I think that was back in 2010. But you look at this UConn team today, I just don't know if they can match up with Florida.
I don't think so either. But you know what? They have that one guy that can make the difference, and that's Shabazz Napier. That
that's
kid
right.
is perhaps the most electrifying, the most fun to watch, in my opinion, player on the court in this Final Four. But I think that the horses that Florida have, they're just too strong.
Well, and Michael, I mean, you obviously get. You get a good perspective of this because, you talk sports a lot and you went to USC, so you're really into the college game. When you look at a team like Florida winning 30 straight games since their last loss to UConn, do you see any way, though, that they could really be beat, or is UConn on another, great and unbelievable run?
Well, I think, as Chad said, they had the one man at UConn that could change the game in a moment. But, these guys have been running like men against boys this whole tournament. I mean, they are a quick, powerful, strong team, and of course they're well educated because they have a strong education program.
Yeah, right.
That's what they focus on. Billy Donovan is big on education.
Yeah, if only they could get that Aaron Hernandez thing off the record, they'd probably be all good.
And then the other match, of course, it's Kentucky and Wisconsin. But that's why I think ultimately. Is for TV, for television purposes, for money purposes, and that's what we're really talking about.
Absolutely
here.
right. It's the NCAA. It's all about the money.
If you had Florida versus Kentucky, Billy Donovan, against Calipari, the two best cheaters in college basketball, you probably would have the best matchup as far as money, ratings, and all that goes.
And it'd probably be the best game. And it's good that you transitioned us here into our next game, Wisconsin versus the University of Kentucky. Now, Kentucky really loafed it this season for the most part. They have a group of freshmen that are unbelievable, however, and at the tournament time, and they started in their own conference tournament, but at tournament time, what you're seeing is these kids actually showing up to play, and you're realizing that they're way better than anybody else. Now, does this to you, Chad, might kind of dispel some of the myth of the one and done? Because remember, Calipari did it a couple years back with a similar group of guys.
Well, wasn't Calipari the guy that suggested that they should just break off from the NCAA and make it like a minor league team?
Yes.
Because that's what he's done. I mean, it's really what's happened, because the old days were used to, remember the Georgetown days. Patrick Ewing, he was there till he was a senior. Most of these guys were there at least till junior year. Now it is a one-and-done scenario, and generally it totally screws you. So what's Kentucky do? They go out, they win the national championship. They don't even make the tournament, but they win the NIT championship, and now they're back in the Final Four. He obviously knows what he's doing.
I'll tell you, Dave and I have been talking about it for weeks. This one and done is killing the NC2A. It's killing, but it is making for some fairness for some of these teams that are coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, we've been, spending some time talking. We'll talk about Wisconsin because they're one of these teams too that have a little bit more depth, on their bench with guys that are veterans. And you see a team like Wichita State, like Dayton, playing together for 2, 3, 4 years. It's hard to beat them because they can anticipate each other much better. Now, Chad, do you think that there's going to be a time when a school like a Wichita State, I mean, they've reached the Final Fours before, but they've never won a national championship. Major powers have always really won national championships. Do you think there's going to be a time, though, that there is going to be a flip because you're going to have men playing literally against boys?
So you're saying a small school?
Small school with seniors, yeah.
Probably not.
You don't think so?
No.
You still think, because here it is. You've got the University of Kentucky getting all the great recruits, and they're still climbing there.
Basically, every school is going to copy whatever formula works. So if it's working for Calipari, everybody else in the country is going, what is he doing? I got to learn what he's doing and go fish in the same hole so I can get the same kind of talent, and I can go out and win every other year. Because that's basically what's happened. You don't need to build a program and look at these guys and go, at freshman year, boy, by the time these guys are juniors, we really got a shot. No, I got to win now, otherwise my ass is out.
Right. You're absolutely right. It's all about what have you done for me lately. So I'll ask you guys both here. You look at this matchup, Wisconsin, good team, quality. I mean, really been playing well for the whole season, coming as a number 2 seed into the tournament. Playing Kentucky. Michael, do you think that Wisconsin's even got a shot?
I think they have a great team. No one gets this far.
That's true.
And, they beat some great teams, but that Kentucky team is so strong.
Yeah.
I think it's about shooting, okay? And when you're on a big stage like this, when you're in the Final Four, Wisconsin is shot the lights out from behind the arc. They're like 40%. Okay, so these guys, they hit everything. Well, when you're on a big stage like that, if anything's going to suffer, It's your jump shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kentucky is the opposite. They're just extremely athletic. So I think it's really a matter of if Wisconsin's shots fall from the outside, they have a really good shot of winning this. But we're looking at the sports book. It opened at 2.5. It's now 1.5. The Kentucky's favored. So it looks like people are putting some money on Wisconsin. I think it has a lot to do if their shots fall. I know that seems pretty simplistic, but it's the truth.
Well, it is. And the clenching up moments here in the Final Four are something that these coaches really try to educate their players about. But this is what happens when you don't have really deep teams with seniors, juniors on them. They can become subjects and slaves to the moment, and it can really affect you. Now, you look at Kentucky, you're right. The game that they have is built on strong, solid inside play. Julius Randle is a beast. This guy's 6'8", 240 pounds. He's like
an NBA guy.
He looks like Patrick Ewing used to look against other college guys, which you just don't see much anymore. All right, we're going to step aside, take our second break here on Live Las Vegas. When we come back, Michael, Chad, and I are going to be talking about some entertainment. You don't want to miss this stuff this weekend. Stay with us.
Not near your radio? Remember, you can take KDWN with you wherever you go. Listen live online at KDWN.com or on your mobile device or tablet with iRadio Now, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps. News Talk 720 KDWN, where locals come to talk. Jerry Doyle, your 6'3" ATM of information. Days 3 to 6 on News Talk 720 KDWN, where locals come to talk. This is News Talk 720 KDWN, Las Vegas, a Beasley Broadcast Group station.
AP Update, I'm Ross Simpson. After 3 mass shootings at U.S. military bases in the past 5 years, security experts say the sad truth is there is probably no practical way of preventing members of the armed forces or civilian employees from taking guns onto big installations like Fort Hood. Experts say the kind of searches that would have prevented Army Specialist Ivan Lopez from driving onto Fort Hood with a pistol in his car and killing 3 fellow soldiers would paralyze access to the major post and create huge traffic jams. During a visit to Fort Hood today, Texas Governor Rick Perry refused to talk about security issues, but said the community will recover.
We'll mourn for those that we've lost. We'll find out the answers that we can, and we'll continue this vital mission that this post and men and women across the country have serving in our military.
I'm Ross Simpson.
The news brought to you by Arby's. It's back. Arby's Mix and Match. 2 sandwiches for just $5.50. Choose from the Beef and Cheddar Classic, the Roast Beef Classic, or the Fish Sandwich. 2 for $5.50. Limited time offer at participating Arby's.
It's 1:32 on the Kid on One Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. This report brought to you by the Las Vegas RV Show and Sale this weekend at the Meadows Mall. A couple of accidents on the Beltway, 215 eastbound, the eastern on-ramp. South 215, that's south of Sunset. North 15, the Sahara off-ramp. And 95 southbound, that's at the base of the eastern on-ramp. For the Kid on One Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
The Las Vegas RV Show and Sale ends Sunday.
See more than 100 RVs with something for every lifestyle and budget.
Plus, enjoy low RV show prices.
No reasonable offer refused.
It's the Las Vegas RV Show and Sale at the Meadows Mall, just off US 95.
What do Vegas locals know that most visitors don't? That you can see snow in the distance on many a 100-degree day? That our home is one of the few places you might use the AC and the heater on the same day? And that all that natural beauty makes us a great place to live. Which is what Yes Air Conditioning is here for. Since 1954, Yes Air Conditioning's strategy has been simple. We get your AC working and keep it working, so you don't have to think about it. Call now and have the peace of mind knowing that the Yes Man can. Call 888-4937 or visit theyesmancan.com. License 71246.
Luxury shops in Las Vegas aren't new. What is new, however, is luxury meeting value. At the world-famous Max Pawn, we specialize in marrying the two. With some of the finest selections of watches, designer handbags, sunglasses, and more, the luxury never stops. Every day, new items are added in-store and online. From Gucci and Chanel to Hermes and Louis Vuitton, Max Pawn delivers all the top luxury brands at a fraction of the price. Visit us online at maxpawnlv.com or browse our showroom in Las Vegas. The world-famous Max Pawn, where luxury meets value.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Termbusters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Termbusters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Now back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Al B. Shore on News Talk 720 KDWN.
All right, welcome back to Live Las Vegas here on News Talk 720 KDWN. Dave Carney joined by Michael Mack and our new co-host here, Chad Forrester. Chad, Michael, great to have you guys on, and we're going to open up the phone lines again. We're going to start talking some more local news here, and I want to get some opinions, if there are any, and I'm sure that there are because people have tons of opinions, and generally it has to do with energy. So 257-5396 is the number, 257-5396. Fellas, one of the stories here that we're looking at today is the opening of that huge solar plant, the largest one in the state of Nevada, and changing Nevada's landscape. Now, this is out near Primm, so the state line. Big-time stuff, big-time power generated. Sometimes people see problems. I'm hearing some rumblings from
problem. What problem is that?
Well, people don't like they don't like the fact that, first of all, they're supplementing different kinds of energy out here in Nevada, and I guess there's pilots that are upset about it because it's creating a sea of mirrors that they can't see.
I could see that being a problem.
Yeah, that was the thing that I was thinking, the real big problem. Because FAA guys are saying that they don't like having these big things out there because it creates a big reflection. But what do you think about the new industry here to Nevada? I mean, obviously, we've talked about this off air throughout the years. I mean, we've got all this open land. 88% or 80% of the state is owned by the federal government. What are we going to do with it?
Well, I think that's a good point. Here's the deal. I read that article, and it said that particular plant can generate enough energy for 140,000 houses. How is that negative? I mean, you know what I'm saying? How long does the Colorado River keep raging down this way that we can utilize? Because if we didn't have the dam, we didn't have the Colorado River, we would not be here right now.
That's right.
I mean, it's that simple. So anytime that I think that we can help the situation and add more power, it's only negative for the power company.
That's it.
That's what really is pissed off in this situation.
It wouldn't make me upset if my power bill was a little lower.
Oh, right. Now, but see, here, this is the problem, right? Because you've got Nevada NV Energy. I was almost going to say Nevada Power. NV Energy is a public utility, and I'm using my little quote-unquote signs. It's a public utility.
Now owned by Warren Buffett.
Now, if you look at Warren Buffett's track record, because we all know Warren Buffett's a great guy.
No, he's not.
Smart guy.
Not great guy. If you look at what his energy companies have done in the markets they have taken over, you are seeing doubled,
skyrocket,
and sometimes triple energy rates. This guy knows how to make money.
Here's the deal. When a billionaire buys anything, guess what? You're going to get screwed because all he cares about. That's why he's a billionaire.
That's right. Yeah, well,
you and I could be billionaires if we stole stuff.
Yeah, well, I guess we could. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know. I was going to say, I don't even know if it was
I went a little too far. I apologize.
$1 billion dollars worth of stealing.
The billionaires, they know how to make money. So obviously he's going to increase the rates. That's naturally what's going to happen. And I think that I like competitive markets. I think that competition is good, not evil. A lot of these guys, a lot of these monopoly men hate competition.
That's right. And really, Michael, I mean, you're a small business owner who, by the way, is expanding your store hours here as a small business owner to 9 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Not after Chad just told me my rates are going up. I'm closing at 6. My lights are going off. I can't afford it.
Use LEDs. You'll be fine.
Well, I was going to say, can't you go back to the kerosene factory, and be like, hey, this is going to be an old school thing from 6 to 8
We're going to be out by candlelight.
No, it's going to be great. So you guys are going to be open. But as a small business guy, you really know what it's like to fight the major powers, right? So it's difficult. When you go into Walmart, and I've heard pawnbrokers talk about this, when you walk into Walmart, you see your bottom line dropping because they're undercutting you everywhere.
Well, thank God that a pawnbroker can buy a pre-owned product and compete on a different level. When you're a mom and pop store and you're selling TVs,
right?
And Walmart comes in and sells, the 50-inch for $399, and you're paying $375, and you're looking to feed your family of 5.
Also, yeah,
you're saying this can't work.
Yeah.
So there's going to have to be some drastic change, and being a public utility, like you said, as a voter, you have your voice, and you need to voice it to your public officials at the state and the assembly level, because that's where they have a voice to put pressure on the Public Utility Commission to say, hey, this doesn't work, this stinks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's really the people's voices, like you mentioned, that make all the difference. And that's what we want to do right now. We want to hear from you guys out there in Las Vegas, 257-5396, the number 257 KDWN. So we've got 2 tickets, field pass tickets, to the Las Vegas 51's game tonight against the Fresno Grizzlies for the next caller here at 257-5396. Now, these are courtesy of Michael Mack. Thank you very much for providing these, Michael. These are tickets that you really almost can't buy. These are field seats. They're given out to really, really special people. So you're going to feel like a VIP with these tickets. The next caller at 257-5396 gets 2 tickets to the 51's game tonight. You can pick them up right here at Beasley Broadcasting, Durango and Sahara.
Yeah, and you know what? Wally Backman's done an amazing job with that team. I mean, it's amazing when you get the right guy, you put the right butt in the right seat, you start having a very competitive baseball team, and it's fun to go out and watch. And I just personally can't wait till they move the stadium. I cannot wait for that. That it's going to be perfect.
Dave, I've always said it, AAA baseball is family baseball. Major League Sports, Chad, has become so non-affordable for the family. Now you have a AAA team that's competitive, and you can bring the whole family out for under $100 with drinks and hot dogs, and have a great time. And we're excited about what the 51s are going to do this year and hopefully in the future up in Summerlin.
Yeah, no, it's really a great year. You brought up an awesome point here, Chad. Wally Backman, the manager here for the Las Vegas 51s, is really, first of all, he was a fantastic baseball player. So we have to give him that. He was a fantastic Major League Baseball player. But he's really done an amazing job of creating continuity in minor league sports, where continuity is not the norm, where you're always getting guys called up and down. This year's Las Vegas 51s return 8 players from last year's roster, and we are going to see some of the New York Mets' best players this year. There's a lot of rehab missions that are going on, and I think even Bartolo Colon is going to be playing some for the Las Vegas 51s this year. And as we know, Bartolo, a 17-year Major League Baseball veteran, but somebody that's still really, really great to come watch. So this year's team is going to be fantastic. And again, we have got a pair of tickets to the Las Vegas 51s game tonight against the Fresno Grizzlies, and we're going to get on. We're going to get online with Joe here. Joe, thanks so much for calling Live Las Vegas. You're a winner, man. We've got 2 tickets for the game. How are you?
Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to going to the game tonight. I hope it's a nice evening and not too cold out.
No, it's supposed to be great. I think we're looking at, game time temperatures right about 67 to 70 degrees by the time it gets underway. And you guys are going to be in a great position because let me tell you what, my friend, field seats don't get any better. Field seats are the best.
Joe, do you follow the team? Did you listen to anything we said about Wally Backman? What are your thoughts on the 51s this season?
No, actually, I kind of just turned you on a little while ago, but years ago I had seasons tickets, and we kind of gave them up, but I'm looking forward to going, and I guess today's my lucky day.
Yeah, today is definitely your lucky day, and thanks so much for calling the show here, Joe. So you just have to come over to the Beasley Broadcast office before, I would imagine, 5 o'clock this afternoon. Beasley Broadcasting is located on Durango, just south of Sahara. So are you familiar with the area, Joe?
Actually, I am. I did work on the new transmission tower.
This guy.
Well, you do not need any
Talk about inside baseball.
Man,
maybe I shouldn't have said that on the air.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. Joe, really appreciate your phone call. The tickets will be waiting for you downstairs at the front desk, okay?
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the game.
All right. Thanks so much, Joe.
Goodbye.
All right, so great call there, Joe. Maybe not necessarily a huge 51s fan yet, but I can almost guarantee
when you
Chad,
get field seats, it changes
That's
things.
right, absolutely. And, you know, when you got Wally Backman as the manager and you got a team like this, too, that changes things because the 51s, let's face it, were not a competitive baseball team in the PCL for many, many years. They actually hadn't really been competitive since they were the Las Vegas Stars and were still a member of the San Diego Padres organization. So, first of all, congratulations to Joe. Second of all, great work by Steve Mack and the ownership group, really revitalizing this program. And I was fortunate enough to go out and see the Major League weekend this year with the Chicago Cubs and the New York Mets. And I know the owner of the New York Mets was out here in Las Vegas meeting with Steve Mack and really talking about the future of the team. Great stuff to come there. So thanks again to Joe. But, guys, another story that's coming up here for Nevada, Las Vegas specifically, and would love to, again, get thoughts from our listeners here at 257 5396, 257 5396. At the other side of this break, we've got a GOP convention in 2016 that's looking like it's heading here to Las Vegas.
Can't wait.
I know, me too. It's going to be awesome. All right, stay tuned. We'll be back after our next look at traffic here.
I won't be there.
It's 144 in the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center. A couple of accidents on the Beltway working right now. 215 eastbound, that's the eastern on-ramp. South 215, that's south of Sunset. 95 southbound, that's the base of the eastern on-ramp. Buffalo at Cheyenne, Atlantic at Charleston, Rainbow at Vegas Drive, that one's new, and a hit and run, Las Vegas Boulevard at Tropicana. For the KDWN Nevada Credit Union Traffic Center, I'm Jim Dallas on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Thank you, Las Vegas, for making One Nevada the #1 bank or credit union in the Review Journal's 2014 Best of Las Vegas poll. To celebrate, we're offering 15-year mortgage loans as low as 2.99%. Apply today at onenevada.org or call 382-4094. One Nevada is open to all Clark County and Pahrump residents. Federally insured by the NCUA Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hello, everybody. Alan Thicke here. You know, it takes money to run a country. Your money. And that's why if you owe back taxes, the IRS might garnish your wages. They could levy your bank account, come after your home or business. But truth is, they'd rather settle for less than bother you more. So they have this brilliant program to help if you're behind on your taxes. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative. They're offering this to help you solve your tax problem once and for all. You could qualify for a settlement that's substantially less than before these changes. Nobody knows these tax relief programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Their attorneys and agents will work to get you the best possible tax settlement. And they're fully accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait till it's too late. Call Optima for your free consultation.
Call 800-559-8226. That's 800-559-8226. 800-559-8226. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Attention military personnel. Are you responsible for acquiring and moving media assets? Are you a vet looking for a job in broadcasting? Come to NAB Show at the Las Vegas Convention Center on Wednesday, April 9, and attend a free Media Technologies for Military and Government Training workshop. Hear from retired General James Poss and Mars One co-founder Bass Lansdorf. Meet with major media companies looking to hire, plus resume writing, job tips, and more at the Career Fair. Register for free at NABshow.com.
It's that time again for the Dennis Bono Show.
From Las Vegas, it's the Dennis Bono Show.
Saturday and Sunday nights at 8. Great talk and music, the Dennis Bono Show. Join Dennis as he reminisces about the great entertainment of yesteryear. Right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Hi, this is Michael Mack, owner of world-famous Mack's Pawn in Las Vegas. You ever wondered what those valuables are worth? Had a pawn question but didn't know who to ask? I have the solution for you. Join me and Dave Carney every Friday from 2 to 3 for Pawn Talk Live here on News Radio 720 KDWN.
Now back to Live Las Vegas with Dave Carney and Al B. Shore on News Talk 720 KDWN.
All right, welcome to Live Las Vegas. Dave Carney, Chad Forrester, Michael Mack back in studio here with us. And really great show here today, guys. We've been talking about a number of hot topics here, from the unfortunate shooting in Fort Hood. Army's still investigating that, to the big weekend we've got coming up with the Final Four. Las Vegas 51s baseball. Congratulations to Joe. Won himself a pair of tickets to the game tonight against the Fresno Grizzlies. And then also talking about this solar plant. But, guys, we've got some other cool stuff going on here in town tonight, and we're going to take it in our Entertainment Uncovered.
You've worked all week. Now it's time to hit the town. We'll tell you where in this edition of Entertainment Uncovered.
All right, well, this Entertainment Uncovered edition is brought to you by the Downtown Project. The Downtown Project giving us an amazing concert tonight, Michael. Sheryl freaking Crow is going to be performing for a crowd of about 1,000 lucky people.
Well, I tell you, those tickets went fast, and it's just unbelievable that what's happening downtown. I know, Chad, you were just downtown at the Container Park yesterday. What's your thoughts on the venue?
The Downtown Project is working. That's what I will say, because it used to be when I'd go downtown, I didn't necessarily feel comfortable parking in some of those side streets.
Yeah, betcha.
I just, the other day, Dave and I met down there, and I parked right outside the El Cortez, which normally that's not something I normally would have done. And it just stood out that, number one, it was cleaner. It even smelled better.
Yes,
and that Container Park.
Do you think it was all the hot? Do you think it was all the hot girls walking around down there?
Well, that's the other thing. You clean
because
things
that
up.
smells a lot better too.
That you never saw in East Fremont.
No, you did not. No, you saw the ones that were hot 40 years ago.
Well, you clean things up, make it smell better, and pretty women show up.
That's
Isn't it
right.
funny how that works?
Oh my God, it's
not complicated.
It's hilarious in all the right reasons.
Well, and I think back at downtown, I think about where I used to park. I used to park at the Golden Nugget because that was the safe valet.
That's right.
I mean, you didn't even really think about valeting anywhere else.
When you went to the Glitter Gulch, is that what you said?
I never was there.
Oh, shocking. That's where I parked when
What are you
I went
talking about,
there.
Michael? They dedicated a square in there,
That's
too.
right.
I thought I saw. It was like, this is to Councilman Mack. But, you were a lot younger back then, so it was expected.
You can excuse
Crow
that.
tonight.
That's
Sheryl Crow.
what you guys were all
Changing
doing.
the subject.
No, listen, Sheryl Crow is going to be fantastic. And, Chad, I don't know if you heard how the Downtown Project was really putting on this event. So it's in concert with a couple of different charitable organizations, and the thrust of this is going to Feed the Children, which is a national campaign to help avoid, hunger in our youth. And the tickets were $39 general admission. They had a few VIPs, but it was a cheap buy.
And the VIPs were $79.
Right.
It's being put on by the First Friday Foundation, and as you said, Dave, it is a charitable cause. But how cool! It's going to be at the Container Park. It starts doors open, so anyone that's going down there, be prepared, because if you have general admission tickets, it's going to fill up fast.
Oh, real fast.
6 o'clock, the doors open. 6:30 to 7, a local artist, Sabriel. 7:30 to 8:15, Charlie Worsham.
Yeah.
And then the main act, 8:30 to 9:30,
Wow.
Sheryl Crow.
Wow, and she's putting on an hour concert too, which is the other awesome part. Sheryl, I've seen her 2 or 3 times, throughout my life, and whenever she does a set, she does, 19 encores after this. I mean, she just loves to play, and really, in the pantheon of modern American music, songstresses aren't really given a lot of credit. We don't have, as many female songwriters that are of note as male, and she is one of the top songwriters, male or female, of the last 25 years.
Songstress, is that a word?
It is.
I didn't know that. Well,
Look it up.
I would agree with you. I think Sheryl Crow is absolutely amazing. And to me, what the draw to this specific concert is, outside obviously the charitable and all that kind of stuff, just being selfish, if you are lucky enough to have a ticket, that Container Park isn't that big. I mean, we're talking about an intimate setting here. So you're seeing Sheryl Crow like maybe you were able to see her maybe 20 years ago when she first started in a small club or something.
That's right.
But, I mean, anymore, to be able to see Sheryl Crow, you had to go to a giant arena. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be really intimate, and outdoors, it's going to be awesome.
Well, and the thing is, too, the Container Park stage is a big pro stage. So you're going to get to see a big pro concert in a really, like Chad said, intimate setting. Now, Michael, you mentioned the doors open at 6, and Chad, you mentioned parking. Now, parking is still, it's not, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but it's still something you need to plan for when you're going
That's a good
downtown,
point.
especially to the Container Park. So I would kind of advise anybody that's listening to us right now to start making their way downtown. Get yourself a parking space, because we know that, the free parking at the corner of Fremont and Las Vegas fills up quick. The El Cortez doesn't even let you park there anymore. You can park in front of it. Get down there as soon as possible. And I would almost want to stand in line in front of the Container Park at, 5 o'clock.
I got a question for both of you.
Sure.
So if you're a small child and you're able to go up to the 3rd level treehouse, can you watch the concert?
That's brilliant.
That's a great.
Because I'm putting my little suit on.
I was going to say, I don't think I can pass as a small child, though.
You know what? I'm so glad I'm going to pick up my son after this show. He gets off of school at 3:30. I'll be like, guess what? We're going to Sheryl Crow.
He can sneak us in.
That's right. Yeah, you're coming with me.
Is there really a tree fort there? I missed the tree
Oh,
fort.
you saw the tree fort? That's
You
where
didn't tell me about the tree fort.
Where all the sound was coming from. You know how you noticed the soundboard? Okay,
Yeah.
That's the other side of the tree fort.
I was too busy checking out the barbecue place.
That's right.
It is awesome.
God, the barbecue place smells wonderful. And that's the other great thing about downtown Las Vegas, guys. And we're here talking about the Downtown Project Sheryl Crow concert tonight here on Live Las Vegas. But downtown Las Vegas is really the locals' place to go and play. And you can get big-time fun in a really small-size package, okay? You get great places. The Gold Spike was there last night. Downtown Grand is wonderful if you're looking for the casino action. And then if you want to go East Fremont and be just completely hipster organic, you can do that too, which, of course, is why I'm wearing skinny jeans these days because, Fremont Street has done that to me.
I hate skinny jeans.
I'm sorry.
You know what? I was wondering what
You just
the deal
can't
was
fit in
with
them.
you.
You're just mad.
Skinny. I've never.
I'm mad too. I have those Polish legs.
Oh, my
I
God.
can't fit in them.
Listen,
it used to be skinny jeans meant that I'd lost some weight, at one point in my life, and I bought new jeans that lasted for 2 weeks, and I put them in my closet looking forward to someday when I could wear them again.
Right.
Not skinny-legged jeans that look ridiculous.
And unfortunately for me, I'm at this point now where I'm like, because it looks so skinny, now I'm trying to add the weight. Now, so we're going to be in a little bit of a dichotomy situation.
Well, you know what happens after fat jeans, and then it goes to sweatpants or
That's
anything
right.
with elastic. That's the key.
Well, what do they call those jeans? The stretchy jeans or something? For those that have given up on life, we've got stretchy jeans.
The active denim.
That's right.
Active denim.
I like that. The material that works with you. But yeah, great stuff going on down there, guys. Now, if we do have a caller here that wants to join us on our Entertainment Uncovered segment, we only have a few minutes left here in Live Las Vegas before we turn it over to Pawn Talk Live. Chad, Mike, myself are going to be joining you for that as well. We do have 2 tickets to Raiding the Rock Vault, courtesy of Beasley Broadcasting. This is an amazing show, guys. It goes on at the LVH, and what this is, it's really some of the top musicians in the country, guys that have played in some of the biggest bands of the country.
It's like a jam session
It's a jam session of awesomeness, okay? Because you get some of the most supremely talented musicians in the world playing the hits that you know and love. So you don't go to this show, Raiding the Rock Vault, and hear an obscure album tune that you're not trying to get. You want to hear awesome stuff that you know, go to Raiding the Rock Vault.
No side B.
No side B.
No.
And, I'm a side B guy.
I am too, but I have to be selective on
That's
that.
the thing. And, sometimes side B can take you down to side street, and then you're, like, hitting it.
I have to tell you, a couple years ago, I went to Huey Lewis and the News, and he played side B off of his new album, or otherwise, it was probably side A on his new album, but in other words, to everybody else, side B to anything else.
Right.
For the first 10 songs, and I'm like, play Power of Love.
But how did
I'm
you...
not... Oh, I apologize. I just knocked the whole studio.
I was going to say, how did
you?
Huey sound, though?
Did he sound thunderous? Once he actually played a song I recognized, he was great.
And did he have Gwyneth Paltrow on with him?
No, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay. All right, well, again, the number 257-5396 if you want these 2 tickets here to Raiding the Rock Vault. But good thing for everybody out there, we're going to be on for a whole other hour, so we've got more prizes. Now, Michael, let's talk a little bit about Pawn Talk Live, which is going to be coming up here in just a second. You are expanding your hours. You've also got a bit of a deal going on for both the days that we have Pawn Talk Live here on KDWN and also for our Spanish broadcast, Pawn Talk Live en Español.
Absolutely. We are doing on every Wednesday and every Friday, 98-cent DVDs, your choice. And we have a great selection. We also have DVD sets for $3.98 and Blu-rays for $3.98, celebrating 98. We're 98 now.
I love it. It's going to be, and it's funny, 98, we're going to have to start doing these temperature things again for us when summer comes up because I can almost feel like 98 degrees is going to be hitting us before we know it.
You have a Top Gun down there for 98 cents?
We do not take special orders over the phone or on the radio.
Because I heard there's a new Top Gun coming out, so I wanted to watch the old one before the new one comes out.
A new Top Gun?
Yes. And
Are you telling me that Maverick is resurrected from the dead or something? And what happened?
Maverick comes back and he faces a drone or something. It's like Maverick against a drone or he's flying a drone.
Serious?
I swear to God.
Is there a new Top Gun coming out?
You didn't hear about this? Yeah, I'm excited.
Wow. Well, hey, this is what we do here in Entertainment Uncovered. We give you guys the latest breaking news on all sorts of weird stuff, even new Top Guns.
I could be making that up. I think that's true, though.
You know what? Tom Cruise,
I want to be the drone.
Tom Cruise will do anything just to get in another action movie. He's going to be like, I want to do this till I'm 100.
No Goose, though. He's dead.
Oh, that's right. Well, obviously, Goose is gone. All right. Our Goose is cooked here on Live Las Vegas. We got to flip over to Pawn Talk Live, but before we do that, we're going to take a look at traffic. Stay with us here on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Have a good weekend.
You'll never forget your first car, and you'll certainly never forget your first car wreck. When this happens to you, you need an attorney who can help you get your car fixed, get you the medical attention you need, and help get you all the money you deserve. Don't deal with the insurance companies without an attorney. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all, to 877-1500. We'll fight to get you all the money you deserve and try to keep you out of court. I'm attorney Glenn Lerner.
Glenn Lerner is the way to go. Call 877-1500.
Hey, Las Vegas, it's Al B. Shore and the voice of the Las Vegas Wranglers, Dave Carney. Join us for the best that Las Vegas has to offer. Entertainment, sports, dining, and nightlife. Live in Las Vegas. Tune in every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. on News Talk 720 KDWN.
Hi, this is Ken Thompson from SportsX Radio, inviting you to join me each and every night, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m., right here, 50,000 watt AM 720 KDWN, for the greatest in sports talk, breaking down all the games. SportsX Radio, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m., sponsored by Canna Racing Sportsbooks.
The Las Vegas Youth Orchestra Spring Concert is being held on Wednesday, April 30th at 6:30 p.m. at the Smith Center for Performing Arts in Reynolds Hall. For ticket information, go online to lvyo.org.
Hi, it's Kathy Dabney with Making a Difference Foundation. Never underestimate the power of one. Help make a better tomorrow today. To volunteer, to donate, or to learn more about Making a Difference Foundation, please go to makingadifferencelv.com.